And so, and at the time, I wasn't touring, I didn't have any money. And I'm just like, okay, well, how am I gonna do this? So I found this doctor. He happened to be in Mexico. Um, and he's actually one of the top surgeons for this surgery, you know. And so I mentioned to a few people, I'm going to go to Mexico to have this surgery. And people say, oh, you don't want to go to Mexico? Don't go to Mexico. And nobody's considering like, oh, this guy's trying to save his life.
Life.
You know, they're like, oh no, don't go to Mexico. You don't go out of the country. It's like, well, okay, but in the country, it's $200,000, $80,000 is the lowest amount for this surgery.
Right.
In Mexico, it's $10,000.
Right.
And he's like almost the number one surgeon in the world for this. So I made a decision, and I remember I just left it open. I said, okay, if this is meant to be, I know everything I need to pay for this, everything I need is going to come. And guess what? It just started coming. Left, right, everything started coming. Money started coming, you know? People were calling me to do things. I had this schedule, and I looked at the schedule. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do all these performances. I don't know how I'm going to do it physically.
Cup runneth over.
Huh?
Your cup
Yeah.
runneth over.
But I was just like, okay, we're going to take them one at a time. And that's what we did. Took them one at a time, you know? Had the money. I went and had the surgery. And, but this is the part I'm getting at why I'm leading to this. So because I had such a strong addiction with food, and I've been using food to cover emotions for so many years, right? Before the surgery, the doctor said, I want you to go on a liquid diet for 5 weeks because he needed me to lose a certain amount of weight before the surgery. And the reason for that was so my liver would shrink and it would make the surgery safer. So I knew this a couple months in advance. And so I kept trying to start this liquid diet, I kept trying to start, and I couldn't. But there was a point when it's like, okay, you got to start here or you're not going to make it. But I had ended up gaining 30 pounds
Wow.
during the time I was trying to start the diet. So by the time I got to the dead date where you have to do it, I did it, but I only lost the weight that I gained. I didn't lose the weight that the doctor told me. So I was so scared when I got to Mexico. I was like, he's going to turn me around, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't. So I had the surgery. So this is the main part I'm getting to. After the surgery, I couldn't cheat. See, before I still had my full stomach, but after the surgery, I could not eat anything but liquids. I couldn't, there was nothing like no physical food that I could physically eat. So because of that, all of the emotions I had been covering up, like all of the fears, the doubts and the disappointments, the feelings of abandonment, like everything that I had been stuffing down with food, man, it all started rising to the top. And I couldn't do anything about it. And I was in the house by myself. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to see anybody. And I literally was just in there, like it just felt and almost if I could describe it, like sitting in the middle of the darkest cloud you can think of.
Mm.
You can't see any light anywhere. And so people were calling and checking on me. I wasn't responding. And I had this one lady, I used to call her my Georgia mama. She used to come and help me out. And she had a key to my house. And so she kept calling me. And she would leave a message, hey, baby, I'm just checking on and I wouldn't respond. So it was one day I was sitting in the living room and I heard a car in the driveway. And I looked out and it was her. I
Don't
was like,
play
oh
with
God.
Georgia, mama. Don't play.
Yeah, she was not playing. And so, and it wouldn't shock me if my own mother called her and told her to come
Yeah,
to
yeah,
my house.
yeah, yeah.
I got up and I remember I rushed down the hallway and I got in my bed and I pulled the covers up over my head because I wanted to pretend like I was sleeping, you know?
Hmm.
And I heard the key come in the door. I heard her open and she walking in, baby, baby, where are you? And I acting like I'm waking up, like, huh? Hey, oh yeah, I was sleeping, because I was so miserable. And so I went through this for 30 days. And what I realized now is I was going through withdrawal,
Right.
chemical addiction for the sugar and all the things. I didn't understand that now, but it was like not just the feelings, but it was also withdrawal. So on the last day, that 30th day, man, it was like literally like the clouds just went away.
Right.
The addictions were gone. Sugar didn't move me. I could look at a candy bar in a grocery store. I had no desire for it, nothing, you know?
I understand.
And somebody warned me. They said, once you get rid of it, don't let it back in.
Yeah, don't let it back in. Listen, oh boy.
But I did.
But I did. It's okay.
Because
You
I
know,
thought I had control.
like life is a roller coaster, and I
Yeah.
don't think we should just get rid of things completely. However, many people will disagree because sugar is a probably the worst thing on the planet. Probably the worst thing for our system on the planet. However, let's indulge in a controlled fashion. I gave up meat for
Okay.
3 years, and one day I saw a piece of chicken that had my name on it, and I have not been back since. I have to, it's just certain things that
Hmm.
you have a space for everything. And
Right.
and thank you for sharing that with us. So let's go ahead and shake that off right now. Let's get rid of all these clouds.
Yeah,
We're gonna come to the
definitely.
best parts of the interview where we have a little bit more fun and talk community. Right. But
Okay.
I want to thank you for sharing that with us. There's someone out there who's dealing with it. You're talking to someone right now
Yeah,
who deals with that. I'm one
for
I'm
sure.
one of you. I am a person who emotionally eats. And I
Right.
found what I've done for those who've listening. I still emotionally eat, but I choose different foods to emotionally eat. Maybe I'll throw
Okay.
back some grapes. Maybe I'll throw back some pineapples. What healthy food could I throw back down could I eat cauliflower rice instead of regular rice? I'm making adjustments within my decision making till I grow to another place where I can give it up altogether.
Do you do the frozen grapes?
I don't do frozen grapes. I just love regular grapes with seeds, man. I'm
Have you
addicted.
tried them though?
No, I haven't tried. I got to give them a try.
Yeah, it's like eating a piece of candy.
I gotta give them a try. You heard it here. Frozen grapes, we gotta give them a try. Should there
Yes.
be a basic training program amongst men, like a level of education, straight giving back to the community? I'm talking about financial literacy, communication, like changing the tire, gardening, general wealth building, elderly counseling, making sure that we use the elderly in our futures and not let them be in old folks' homes. However, create situations where houses next door, they're teaching different stuff that they learned in life. Do you think we could ever, as a community, where the community where we come from, can have our own basic level of education outside of church, outside of the school, outside of any government entity?